It's a yo-yo. Fun little toy. A great way to have an active meditation. Just watch the yo-yo. See it up and down. But also, I want to use this fun little toy as an example of how we reach the higher dimensions that we are learning about in science. We are three-dimensional beings living in a possibly 10 or 11-dimensional existence. Some say even more when they get into the quantum physics and the breakdown of existence as we are able to imagine, and all the possible imaginable existences that could be in our realm. And this is a great example of how we can move our thought processes from the first to the fifth dimension and beyond. The first dimension would be a point, just a dot. It just is where it is. It doesn't move up, down, side to side, forwards, backwards. The second dimension would be the length of a string. It has left and right motion. It has up and down motion, but it has no thickness. It has no width. Yes, anyway. And I'm clearly, if I was a scientist, I could explain it better. Then we get into the third dimension where we have height, width, and depth. And from our perspective, that's the existence we live in. Now, the fourth dimension, they say, is time. So time is relative. So it is contextual, past, present, future. And then we get into the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension I'm going to explain this way. If I was an ant, and that would be the perception from a human perspective of what the fourth and fifth and sixth dimensions are. As an ant, I would be along this string. And the string is spiral. And I'll show you here that this string, the yo-yo string, is in fact reminiscent or representative of the string theory, because it unwinds and opens up another dimension. We cannot perceive this dimension because we are existing on the three-dimensional plane, and so we do not perceive this other dimension. If I was an ant, I would perceive this dimension, and the higher dimensions of us existing would seem unimaginable. And so this is just a quirky example of what the fifth dimension and sixth dimension and so on that would be understandable to the human or to the ant from the ant's point of view. It's all wrapped up into theory for us. We use meditation. We use contemplation and deep, restful thought to imagine the potential, the possibilities, the existence that we might manifest for ourselves. And we do this with the idea that we don't have a complete understanding of these other dimensions, but we do know that they potentially exist and that we have the ability to potentially make contact with them. And that is why we pray, why we have known before we scientifically were able to explain the concept of God. And in the scientific realm, they say that God lives in the 10th dimension. This is where all knowing, all being, all potentiality, all power is attainable. That above that there may be even the brain, the 11th dimension. So we know these things as a human experience from anecdotal evidence. We've seen miracles happen before we understood science, and we accepted those as miracles, and then we moved to a place where we knew it as science. And this is what we're doing now. We're going to move ourselves from the realm of religion and simple belief to a greater understanding of creating acceptance and knowledge, because we can use the scientific method to manifest our knowledge, to create our existence, and to shape our reality. And so I can go from what I think I know to what I know, from one single point of reference to the 3 dimensions and beyond, to infinity and beyond. Each day, in the best way, I become better and better, and I remind myself, have you been told today, I love you?